Alright, hey guys, we're back for another deck building episode. Today is going to be an interesting day because a person I know decided to give me my least favorite cards. Yippee! You know, actually, Firecracker isn't really one of my least favorite cards. If you really wanted to give me least favorite cards, you'd have to put in Bowler and Monk. These, I believe these are my least favorite cards in the game. I also really hate, because I actually like Firecracker quite a bit, because Firecracker has helped me quite a bit over the years as being an underleveled player, but also Graveyard. But these four and Graveyard are my five least favorite cards in the game. Monk is just overpowered. I don't understand how to defend a Monk. I don't understand how they think Monk is balanced. They just ignore Monk for some reason. Marcher, well, I mean, you know Marcher lineups. Mother Witch, her existence is everything that I hate about Clash Royale. She doesn't really play balanced into most decks. She's either worthless or the most oppressive card in the matchup. Her existence as a card limits deck variety. So it's just kind of disgusting that she exists in the game. And Bowler is just annoying because it's really easy to get Bowler lineups, and since he walks so slowly, he is area denial for a super long time. Well, anyway, I realize that I haven't done any deck building, just complaining so far, but yeah. So looking at this, I'm immediately seeing Fireball Bait, and Fireball Bait means recruits, so I guess this is going to have to be a recruits video, huh? Alright, so I'll just slap in recruits there and start thinking about what kind of cards I want to be playing. Well, I know I'm going to want to be playing a bunch of tanks because I've got so many rangers, I'm going to need a lot of tanks to protect them. I'm probably going to want pigs as my win con, and then, so this is going to be all of my anti-air, so I should probably stick to solely ground-based stuff, which actually works out very nicely because Cage is a nice extra tank as my building. And I guess my last card here will just be a big spell, maybe arrows. Well, no, I don't need splash, so maybe even lightning, honestly. I could see lightning working with this. This is a very toxic deck. It's not too hard to build a deck when you have 5 whole cards of leeway instead of just 4. You can give... Oh, right. I actually completely forgot about that. So, yeah, I think I actually completely forgot to mention that in the last episode, too, but... So, comment down below 3 or 4 cards, and then that will be the subject of the next video. So, like, this episode, somebody commented Ram Rider, Heal Spirit, Poison Empress, and I made a deck out of it. This episode was Firecracker, Mother Witch, Marcher. Last episode, I used a randomizer, so I got these 4 cards, and then the episode before that, I got these 4 cards, which really was something. So, yeah, I guess I'll head in and check if this deck works now. So anyway, while we're figuring out if this deck works, there were a bunch of balance changes, or at least proposed balance changes, and I thought they were pretty interesting. The first balance change, well, I mean, first of all, they nerfed every tower troop except for Princess Tower, which is kind of odd to me, because Princess Tower was already the best one. Like, so they nerfed the chef, so he takes between 2 and 3 seconds longer to cook each pancake. So, like, the chef cooks slower when he's targeted on something. I don't know, I guess they're just trying to say, like, he's distracted or something like that, but because when the chef is distracted, he cooks slower, it is going to be always between 2 and 3 seconds longer to finish cooking. And then, I don't really know why they nerfed Chef. Chef already felt kind of bad to me. Oh boy, this is why I hate Mother Witch. This guy's gonna have a real bad time this matchup. I'm pretty sure his only good spell is arrows, and arrows don't kill Mother Witch, which means that he's going to be... Oh, of course he has Fireball. Why wouldn't he have Fireball? Well, he's still going to take quite a bit of chip damage, and he's just going to be very unhappy this matchup. He has to instantly Fireball my Mother Witch the second I play it, and take a negative trade every single time, so he's going to have to play like a madman if he wants to survive this game. Plus, I have Marcher to line up through his mortar, which is extra fun. So, Chef, it's kind of weak, in my opinion, because... I know there's that one really stupid triple tank chef deck that's going around, but I don't lose to that deck very often. And since I don't lose to that deck very often, I can't fathom why it's an overpowered card. Well, I guess I'll just let this go right now. Yeah, okay. I'll just Firecracker the river here, get some chip. I'll probably end up taking a bit of chip myself, but I don't really mind it all that much. I'll Barb Barrel. I've got Elixir. Oh boy. I have to cage this to instantly pop the Skelly Barrel. He's probably gonna Fireball that, yeah. Okay, I believe I do survive this. Yeah, I took a -1 trade there, but considering it's the best Evo in the game, that's definitely not bad by any stretch of the imagination. That was his 3rd Mortar there, so he doesn't have Evo Mortar in his deck. He's just playing regular Mortar, which is very good for me, because Evo Mortar is monstrously overpowered. I'd like to get a Lightning off on his Empress here. Actually, I'm just going to Lightning immediately because I'm pretty sure the rest of his defense cards are all swarms, so I might as well just Lightning immediately. I'm going to March with this, try and bait out his Fireball. That works too. And then probably Barbarrel this because I don't want him to be able to log kill my Marcher. Okay, very nice. The Marcher will be very annoying, and then I guess I'll not do anything. Oh, I should have pigs in front of that when I saw that the Empress targeted on something else. I'll Firecracker this. This is where the Fireball bait starts to come into play because he can't Fireball so many Rangers. Probably gonna... no Lightning. That would be too much of an overcommit. I'm up damage right now, and I can Lightning cycle and he has to Fireball cycle, which means that I have the better end of spell cycle. So I don't mind just taking it slow and waiting for late game. Plus, I also have Marcher lineup, so I've kind of got like mega outchip potential on this guy. Probably Marcher, Firecracker the middle, Lightning this side if she stays in range. She does stay in range, so I can Lightning this, which is very nice to see. That Berserker immediately got hit by both Rangers, which is pretty nice to see. I'm guessing that Empress will die. I got a Marcher lineup too, so this guy is kind of getting trashed right now because I just have a crazy good matchup into him. He's finally starting to try to go for Mortars again, but Recruits are just really good into Mortar. So that Cage will pull the Skelly Barrel in time, which is very good. I'm probably going to Firecracker this because I'm going to need a lot of splash in order to get all these Skellies off the map. The Recruits in the opposite lane are distracting the Mortar, so even though he did manage to clear this lane by overcommitting, he couldn't manage to clear the other lane, so he took some damage there. Pretty nice. Right, back to the actual balance changes. So there was Duchess. They made it so that Duchess has a slower reload speed in all states now. So like when she's at max ammo, her reload speed is slow, and when she's at min ammo, her reload speed is still slow. It's kind of unfortunate that my Marcher got shot there, so we can log finish off my Marcher here. But it's definitely not the end of the world considering how bad this guy's health is looking. I'm actually going to Pigs here because I want him to Fireball this. If he Fireballs that, then I can excuse getting a Lightning off here. Very nice. So, I don't have to do anything about that Empress anymore. I'll Cage a little bit low and then just cycle around to my Recruits right about now. Okay. This is why I play the Cage low, because I wanted to make sure that the Cage survived long enough that I can get my Recruits down, because every time I play my Recruits, he can basically consider his Mortar dead. And I believe that should be game after the Firecracker gets the next shot. Very nice. So, Duchess, her reload speed nerf, I don't understand. I know that Duchess is pretty good with bait and some spam decks, but I don't actually see Duchess all that much. And even when I do see Duchess, I usually kind of just think to myself, alright, well I guess I'll just stall through single time and then annihilate them in double, because Duchess loses in double. So as long as you just commit to playing lane, you can kind of beat Duchess every time. Cannoneer also got a change. Overall 6% DPS nerf. It has less damage but faster hit speed, so it's not as bad against swarms anymore, but it also doesn't 2-tap Rangers anymore either. So like Musketeer, right now it 2-taps a Musketeer. After this, it will 3-tap a Musketeer, which is a huge difference because, like, right now it takes 4.8 seconds to full kill a Musketeer, right? But after this, it'll take 6.3 seconds to full kill a Musketeer. I'm gonna hog this because 2.6 players all play the same. Alright, I don't have the greatest hog counters in this matchup, so I'm probably gonna end up taking quite a bit of damage over the course of this game. So we'll have to hope that he makes some mistakes here. It'd be nice if I had Flying Machine in this deck, but I can't really swap out any of my Rangers because all 3 of my Rangers were preset for me by the commenter there. He missed his Ice Spirit, so he had to take one Gob Stab, and believe it or not, this is actually the play here. Recruits the River is a very toxic play, but it tends to work out very well, because the thing with Recruits is that it works. Recruits are way worse when the enemies have time to actually set up their defense. If you just recruit straight at the river, it almost always works out better for you. And because he had to waste so much elixir there, I can go in with Pigs the River. I'm trying to go same lane here because I don't want him to be able to set up Musketeers low. If he does set up Musketeers low, then he's going to be able to set up big pushes, and I want to get Lightnings off to stop him from getting those pushes. He decided not to Skellies there. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't, because Skellies actually do more DPS than Log, of course. But if he had Skellies that, I would have just marched Mother Witch to the river. He didn't know I had Mother Witch, though, so I don't know why he decided not to do that. I'm going to Firecracker opposite lane, because there's no good trades he can really get off of a Firecracker. Okay. This is the correct Cage placement here. It's not going to work all that well, considering he's got an Ice Golem, but it'll work decently, I guess. Alright, well, I'm taking quite a bit of hog hits. That's just because I don't have any strong enough hog counters. Maybe I should try swapping out what kind of deck I'm playing here. Like, maybe I should swap Pigs for Ram Rider. I'm going to do the same play, just again. I mean, I might as well. I'm going to Mother Witch the river this time instead of Marcher, because he's probably going to cannon again. Or is he not back to his cannon? Okay, well, he finally gets a Fireball off on defense, but he has to take some Recruit stabs for it. I'm actually going to Marcher this. It's really toxic, but it gets me my one shot, and I also get pigs opposite lane. Okay, well, this is going to be interesting, because I'm pretty sure we're in a tower trade situation, but Cycle always gets the better end of tower trades. So I have to recruit the river here and try and take some more damage off of his towers before he kills me. I'm going to go with my Firecracker. I should have Mother Witched. I kind of thought he was going to cannon that. Well, I'm going to wait for this and then Marcher Snipe. Okay, he missed my Firecracker, so he's going to take quite a bit of damage on both lanes here. The Ice Spirit goes nowhere. The Marcher gets outside of the log range. The pigs are going... One of them bypasses tower, at least. The Marcher is finally going to walk up here, but I'm pretty sure that's actually game over. Yeah. One of the biggest indicators of if a deck is good or not is whether or not it can beat 2.6 hogs. So I realized there that I don't have enough hog counters in my deck, so I guess I'll go back to the drawing board on that one. So I clearly need a big restructuring here. I need more hog counters. I'm actually thinking of NATO Cage. So what about... No, I almost said Mega Knight Graveyard because that's like an old school deck that people have played before, but with Firecracker, no way I'm playing Graveyard. So NATO Cage would be enough hog counters. I need some sort of a drill counter, which would be my Barb Barrel. And then I need some sort of a tanky win con, and I think that recruits really are the play, because I can't really play anything else. I need something that can tank both lanes so I can get good value out of my Rangers. I need something that has a shield to help me against Princes. I think this is just the play, and then I just need to find a different win con that can synergize better with NATO. I could play E-Giant Recruits. That could be something that I do, but I don't think I will do that. Probably gonna think about how else I can do this. So let's just think about win cons for a sec right here. So I've got bait counters because I've got so much splash and double small spell. I've got hog counters because I've got these two now. I've got drill counters in Barb Barrel, and I don't have the greatest drill counters in the world, but Barb Barrel alone should be good enough. It'd be nice if my win con countered drill, but that's not really a requirement. What other win cons are there? Miner Chip. I don't have much for Miner Chip. None of these things hit hard and fast, but I do have NATO to NATO off a miner, so I should be able to catch a miner pretty often. So I'd like my win con to be able to catch a miner and stop a drill, which is looking like Ram Rider. Also E-Giants, but oh, what the hell. I'll just put in E-Giant and see how it works. Anyway, the next nerf is Spear Gobs, like all Spear Gob cards. So that would be Gob Hut, Spear Gobs, Gang, and Gob Giant. So that's an interesting change. What they do, they nerf the first hit. Wow, that certainly is something. They nerfed the first hit time of all Spear Gobs from 0.4 to 0.6. So in case you don't know, first hit time refers to how long it takes for something to actually... Wow, okay, so this guy is just dead right now because he went for all of that elixir, and I can just kill this. I can full kill this with 2 elixir right now. So he gave me full 4 elixir and then extra 2 elixir, so he's down 6, and then also after the drill there, he's down 10, which is insane. The reason why he survived that is because Wizard is a great recruits counter, but yeah, he is down 1,000 damage despite having a hard counter to my deck, which is going to be pretty interesting to see. Probably NATO this high. Probably should have saved my NATO and just eaten the damage, but I didn't really feel like taking any damage there. Anyway, first hit time, in case you didn't know, only comes into play when a unit is changing targets. So like against Skellies, you kill one Skelly and then you change to the next Skelly. So on changing targets, then that is when you see first hit time coming into play. Well, I said I wanted 2 drill counters and E-Giant was one of my 2, so I guess we'll see how this goes. So, he's definitely going to Gob Hut this. I'm definitely going to Mother Witch the Gob Hut. Interesting Gob Hut placement. I don't know if that actually pulls. It might. We'll have to see. I'll probably Marcher Snipe this. I'm not sure if it does. Oh, wow, it does pull. Well, I guess I'm glad that I got the Marcher Snipe going. So, the Mighty Miner actually does a whole lot of nothing against my E-Giant because it gets instantly reset every single time he plays it. I mean, every time it starts to heat up. I'm going to waste one of my drill counters here because it's just worth the elixir to get the wizard off the map. And then I would like it... Actually, I'm going to try pre-NATOing his stuff away from his king tower so he can't activate here. Very nice. Somebody's pulled that on me before, so that's how I know how to do it. Cage, and then I'll probably recruit the back, or maybe E-Giant the drill. Probably E-Giant the drill again. He keeps playing back drill, and the snowball's going to do a whole lot of nothing for him. Not only did he miss it, but the E-Giant doesn't get snowballed anyway. Very nice for me. Alright, I'm going to not bother with the recruits right now. Probably Mother Witch this time. No, I will recruits, just 4 in this lane, because he wasted his wizard on opposite lane. Barbarrel this, make sure that my Mother Witch stays alive. The Mother Witch killing all of his spear gobs there is very good for me. I swear I tapped my Firecracker, but I guess I didn't for some reason. I'm going to NATO the remaining gob to tower. Okay, well, things are looking very nice for me right about now. The Mighty Miner didn't get him all that much value. The Wizard is half dead, and he took most of his tower on the opposite lane. Next time he goes for a drill, I'm just going to E-Giant it again. Probably going to recruit the river here. He's probably back to his Wizard, but I don't think it matters too much. I was kind of hoping for a 3-3 split, not a 4-3 split. That's my fault. But it's also not the end of the world either. I might actually, what I'll do is I'll defensive E-Giant into his Wizard, and then Barbarrel for the drill that he plays. I think that could be better. Still back drill, huh? Okay, well, I'm gonna play my E-Giant now, because that will actually kill both of his Wizards on top of the Mighty Miner, which is very nice for me. He's giving me more value with my Mother Witch here, so I guess I'll just take it. And I completely missed my Mother Witch. Oops. Well, that's dead. I kind of gave him his advantage back there, but it's not the end of the world. I'm gonna recruit this because he keeps playing drill the back, so I might as well just play it for the back. I mean, it's practically obvious that he's gonna play it there by this point. I might just straight up march to the river here, because he doesn't have anything cheap to defend this with. Like, he's gonna have to play some, or he can just give up. Yeah, so he had to take one marcher hit because he just didn't have anything that he could play in time for that. Alright, well, I guess I'll just cage this. The rest of the push is dead here. If he tries to Mighty Miner in front, I can just E-Giant counter. Still the same play, huh? Well, I guess I'll just NATO this to King Tower and then Barbarrel after. Very nice. I'm going to start setting up an E-Giant push because he isn't giving me any he isn't giving me good E-Giant counter pushes now. Okay, I'm gonna recruit this, pretty much just the same play over and over and over again. Recruits are tanking for the E-Giant. This is actually working out much better than I expected here. Despite having, a big counter to the recruits, his stuff is still dying pretty well for me. The Gob Hut does die before he can get to his next Gob Hut, or it doesn't. Okay, well, he gets his second Gob Hut down, but I have my second E-Giant down, because I've actually got a decently fast cycle with, 3, 3, and 2. Gonna recruits the back. Oh, he finally plays a drill the front. Wait, that was a second drill the front. Never mind. He got around to a third Gob Hut, which is pretty surprising. I guess he does have a lot of cheap cards. It's looking like I'm going to have to just stall out this game for the end. So I guess I'll see you guys in the next match, because this is gonna be a boring finish here. Yeah, once he stopped giving me good E-Giant counter pushes, he kind of just, I stopped getting damage, but he also never really got any damage, so it was kind of just a stalemate from there. The Spear Gob's nerf, I'm really hoping what it will do is it'll make it so that a half-health Spear Gob doesn't get a hit on your tower when it's walking up, but I don't really have very much faith that will happen. I'm quite happy with the Spear Gob nerf, because Spear Gobs are just kind of overpowered right now. It's part of what's making bait so good. The next one is actually a huge nerf to the Miner. So, what they used to do is what they would do is they nerf the damage specifically to crown towers that the Miner has, right? So the Miner does less damage, but only to crown towers, and it's still normal on defense. But what they're doing now is they're changing it so that now it does less damage to everything else as well. Because what they're doing is they're making it so that its hit speed is actually reduced. So it hits once every 1.3 seconds instead of once every 1.2 seconds now. He just wasted entire barbs there, so I'm going to E-Giant this. Because, well, I mean, yeah, he kind of went all in at the river there and wasted 5 elixir, so he's got nothing left for this. NATO this in. Very nice. Firecracker just barely stayed in range while the E-Giant reflect after the NATO, so that was solid. He took only 1 reflect there because he fireballed, but he overcommitted on that pretty hard too because he spent 8 for my 7. So he was down elixir when I spent that 8, and then he fireballed it on 0 as well. So I'm pretty sure he's down elixir once again. He does have Dark Gob. Oh wow, okay, well, I'm gonna recruit the river, and he's probably gonna die because recruits the river is, I was already gonna recruit the river, he just handed me 3 elixir extra for it, so I'm guessing that this guy is dead right now. We'll have to see on the other lane. So he's already spent 7 for my 7, so he has 0 elixir left to counter my recruits in that lane, so I should get very nice damage here. He's got 4 to counter my Marcher though, so we'll have to see about that. Ignores my Marcher, doesn't ignore my Marcher, so he's down, he's up 1. I'll Barbarrel, get my King Tower activated here. And then this is actually looking very nice. I didn't expect E-Giant recruits to work, but it seems like it actually is, like, unironically. I guess I'll... Oh, I regret that Firecracker. I thought that I already had King Tower up, but I guess he didn't. I guess I can try the same NATO play, or you can do that. That works too. It's too dangerous for me to go for an E-Giant in single time, because I don't have enough elixir to play my cage if he hogs the river, so I have to cage first and then E-Giant after. Okay, he's giving me a Dark Gob here, so I'll just Mother Witch that. Or I won't Mother Witch that. I'll NATO high. The reason I NATO high like this is to get the Dark Gob in tower range, and now I can start setting up a big push here. I'm gonna have a hard time killing his Firecracker on offense here. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Maybe I don't have NATO in hand. I think I'm just gonna allow this push to die out right now. There isn't really much I can do to make this work, especially considering he's got his Evo cycle going. Just as long as I get one Marcher shot on the Firecracker, I'll be happy. There it is. 2, actually, very good. So I can just Barb Barrel this, that'll be dead. Firecracker low, if he hogs off it, then I cage. Nothing? Okay. He does, I believe, have his Firecracker about ready to be back in his hand, but I've got a good enough hand to handle the Firecracker once he plays it. Dark Gob's dead now because he didn't play the Tesla in time, or on the right placement. And since he just wasted his Tesla, I can immediately go for an E-Giant. And he spent 8 for my 7 on that E-Giant, and he's got nothing left for this next E-Giant. I'm going to Barb Barrel the river here, try and get some extra damage on that Valk that he was about to play, and then make sure that I NATO this Dark Gob in. He's decided not to play his Firecracker for some odd reason. But yeah, that's the game, so I'll see you guys in the next one. And 680 gold. Useless. Well, I just realized at the rate that we're going here, I'm never going to finish these balance changes. Okay, I'll go through a little faster. Evo Skelly Barrel. Evo Skelly Barrel has 5% less death damage now. That's still not that... That's not going to help anything, because the problem with Evo Skelly Barrel is that it spawns a lot of skeletons, and it already does double death damage, so 5% less than double is still too much. So I don't think that's really a good balance. It's still going to be equally as overpowered. Empress gets 5% more HP, specifically when she's in her flying form. I don't think she needed that. If you saw the last episode where I was deck building, Empress actually kind of carried the deck, and I don't think giving her 5% more when she's already the carry card is going to be very good for the game. I want to cycle one of these cards, because if you look at my hand, I've got 2 spells and 3 rangers, so if they play like Golem the back, I'm just dead. I'm going to March the River here. It's toxic, but it gets me dead. Wow, okay then. So it's toxic, but it would have gotten me damage, and I kind of had to play something there. I'm going to Firecracker and Barb Barrel this and probably just eat 1 Queen shot. Yeah, unfortunate. I didn't have my E-Giant or my Recruits in hand, or my Cage in hand. I had 3 counters of the Queen, and none of them were in my starting hand. Looks like we're playing Pig's Cycle here. Next balance, Phoenix. Right now, Phoenix hits once every 1 second. After the buff, it will hit once every 0.9 seconds. And yes, Phoenix is getting a buff. I don't know why it's getting a buff. It kind of already overshadows Mega Minion. Now it's going to overshadow Mega Minion more. And then, well, yeah. I mean, the only thing that was keeping Mega Minion viable was the fact that it did more DPS per elixir than the Phoenix did. But now it's going to do less DPS than the Phoenix does per elixir, so it's just going to have absolutely 0 purpose in life. He decided to Skellies into my Mother Witch, so this guy is probably just dead right now if I had to guess. Yeah, he's kind of playing trash. I don't know why he keeps Queening the River. Queen the River is a good play in some matchups, just not many of them, and especially not this one when I've got triple Queen counter. So, yeah, Phoenix... I mean, Phoenix meta isn't that toxic. Phoenix is not the easiest card to use, and it typically stops people from matchup fishing, because if you use Phoenix, then people can't really play no anti-airs. So I guess that's nice-ish. One other odd thing is that Phoenix is going to be getting a chain... Wow, he's giving me a Brawler for offense. Thank you. So he has 1 elixir... Never mind. Okay. Evo Cannon means that everything here is dead, so there's no point in me even bothering to commit to this anymore. I'll Marcher opposite lane, and then E-Giant the, Okay. He knows how to spell cycle. I'm going to... Oh, wow. Okay, after the Log nerf, Log EQ doesn't kill Marcher or Mother Witch anymore. That's crazy. Well, since he doesn't have his Evo Cannon in hand, I can actually play the game again, so I guess I'm doing that. He decides to EQ again. EQ Log doesn't kill my Marcher. I'm going to Mother Witch this side, because he's going to have to play something else on the Marcher, and then I get a bunch of pigs, or I get 0 pigs, because the Marcher snipes it. Okay, that's great. Well, I believe he is dead, though, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, he gave up. Very nice. See you guys in the next map. He didn't give up. Okay, I'll just march to the river, and then he'll give up, hopefully. Okay. Deck's looking pretty good so far. Oh, 3-star? Something... Never mind. Okay, that's, like, slightly okay, I guess. I'll head over to my main account so I can play this with... So I can test it out against better players and with Evos now. I think we've put together that it can handle mid-ladder players, so I'll try it against better players. Another thing that they're doing to the Phoenix in the buff is they're actually changing it so the death damage does not 49, it does the full 163. So I don't know like why they're doing that, for what reason. It's just Okay, I mean, I guess you can't let a Phoenix connect to your tower anymore, but you already couldn't let a Phoenix connect to your tower. They're also buffing Zappy's first hit speed, so it's kind of the inverse of the Spear Gobs. So they're buffing the first hit speed of Zappy's from 1.1 seconds to 0.8 seconds, so 0.3 seconds faster. I'll quickly make the deck and see you guys in the arena again. I'm thinking about what Evos I want to be playing here. I know that Recruits is going to be one of them because Recruits Evo are just overpowered. Recruits are actually absolutely garbage without an Evo, so I kind of have to be playing those. But I don't know if I want to be playing Cage or Firecracker. When I think about the matches that I was playing, like what made me win or lose matches, I feel like I would rather have Evo Cage because Mega Knight would be a menace for this deck, like specifically Evo Mega Knight. So I think I'll put in Cage so the Cage can eat the Mega Knight. Right, so next balance, they buffed Zappy's first hit speed from 1.1 seconds to 1.8 seconds, so Zappy's will hit a bit faster when retargeting, which is pretty nice to see, actually, because Zappy's are a good graveyard counter, and I hate graveyard. Zappy's are also trash, so it's kind of nice to see that they're getting a buff. Oh, Ice Wiz, I hope that this guy's not playing NATO, because that would mean that he can get his King Tower up off of my Cage here. I think I'm going to play a Firecracker Ops, well, I guess he's going to get a King Tower up anyway, because I'm playing Firecracker. I could just Recruit the river here. Am I that toxic? I might be that toxic. I'm that toxic. Okay, I'm gonna wait for the Ice Wiz to lock onto the Brawler and then just go all in at the river. Very fun. Alright, so that E-Drag will get him some pretty nice value, but you can see the other side there. He's kind of just dead. He's got a really heavy deck, and he got starting handed. I know it's pretty, like, lame of me to just starting hand somebody like that, but it worked, so what can I say? I knew that Ice Wiz decks tend to be very slow cycle and heavy cards, so I figured that Recruits the River would work pretty well there. Alright, so, next balance. Golemite damage doubled. Oh, this guy's playing Golem. This is not over, like, in the slightest. I'm going to E-Giant the River here, and then probably Firecracker behind. So, I do have Evo Cage for his Golem, but I have nothing for his pumps. That was one drawback that I just accepted that I was going to have to put up with here. So, it's... Oh, wow, he's just letting go of his Evo E-Drag like that? Okay, I guess I'll snipe that off real quick, because E-Drag is the most threatening card in the entire matchup, so if it's not in hand, he has no way of getting through at all. And since he doesn't have his Evo E-Drag, odds are high that he's actually not... He's just straight up lost the game. Like, I'm pretty sure he just cost himself the entire game right there, which is fun. So yeah, the Golemite damage is going to be doubled. So like the mini Golemites underneath, those ones, their damage will be doubled. I'm going to Mother Witch opposite lane here, just because I want to get the pressure going. I want him to not be able to defend his from his Golem from the Cage here. So I'm actually going to wait and then E-Giant to protect the Cage. It's kind of a crazy play, but if all of his support is stuck on an E-Giant, then the Cage can just wreck his entire Golem. And this right here is a 4 for 8, which means that I've pretty much gotten all of my elixir back from that pump. A pump is only a +2, and that Cage alone was a +4. So I've pretty much already got him dead. I will try and make sure that this Ice Wiz gets off the map and Cage high. I've got 30 seconds, so I'm probably going to try and just stall the game out for the rest of the time here. He's got back to his Evo Lumberjack, but he doesn't have Evo E-Drag on this push, so I'm still not all that threatened right here. Probably just E-Giant. E-Giant doesn't do quite enough damage to kill things through the healer, but it does stall for long enough. So pretty much all I have to do here is just NATO high, and then he can't get to my tower in time. It's physically not possible. I can just Recruits here, and it's just over. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next match. I'm not a huge fan of the Golemite damage buff. Like, double damage is, like, insane. That's, like, Evo kind of stats. Like, Evo Archers do double damage, and they're monstrously overpowered, and regular Golemites will be doing double damage, which is something. I know Golem is trash right now, but I don't think that that's the way to go about it. Because Golemites almost always connect to the tower anyway, so I don't like that they're kind of giving the guaranteed damage double. Doesn't seem right to me. I would really love to get my King Tower off of that Cage right there. So I think I'm gonna Barb Barrel to the side here to try and get this guy to commit some elixir to my Marcher Barb Barrel. And then I can NATO activate off the Cage. Okay. Firecracker here. I'm really glad that the... I'm actually going to Cage of my own, keep my Firecracker alive. I know that this is kind of, like, insane to be playing this way, but I just want to make sure that he's distracted as much as humanly possible so I can get this off. If he's smart, he'll Pigs the River here, but he's not, so he doesn't. So I'm going to have to eat, like, what, a couple Flying Machine hits, but in return for King Tower, that's very much worth it. Evo Recruits versus Evo Recruits. How fun. I've got double Splash and Barb Barrel, and I've got double Splash, double Small Spell, so I'm pretty sure this is my matchup easily. So this should actually be very... Oh, I've got triple splash because of the E-Giant. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think I might just hard counter this guy. He's got Empress, which is very interesting to see. I don't have the greatest counters to Empress, actually, because Empress recruits are a bit like Barbs in the sense that even though they come in large numbers, they aren't a swarm, and you don't want them getting hit by heavy hitters like Empress. He's probably going to take a couple chips off of this recruit here, which is nice to see. He isn't playing Zappies because Zappies are replaced by Empress here because typically recruits only plays 2 Rangers. But that means if he doesn't have Zappies and he doesn't have Cage in hand, that means I can go all in. Oh, he's playing Evo Archers, which is yucky. Evo Archers are a menace to society. I NATO them in, but of course he doesn't have the Evo cycle yet. So the Evo cycle is going to be really hard for me to beat. But of course, since he didn't realize I had my E-Giant, I took most of his tower there. That's just surprise factor, not actually playing good or good deck design. So, yeah, Golem might be good. I kind of sense that it won't, actually. Even though they double the amount of damage that it's guaranteed to get, it still doesn't really get to the tower all that easily, and you can still kind of just outright kill a Golem player for even trying to play the Golem in the first place. I'm going to Marcher Snipe this Flying Machine here, and then probably E-Giant whatever side he plays his Empress on. Okay, well everything is dead already, so that's pretty nice to see. I just barely win the interactions there, and then I guess I'll Mother Witch low, and then NATO in, honestly, because I want my towers to be helping me with this thing, because that thing hits like a truck, and I'd rather not have it on the board any longer. I know that was a very expensive kill on the Empress there, but Empress is kind of a really good card. It looks like he's ignoring my Mother Witch. Never mind. Okay. Well, I guess I'll E-Giant Kite. Oh, wow. Barb Battle Ram. I did not expect that. Well, I guess I'm going to have to take 1 Ram charge here, which is a bit unfortunate. I'll use my Barb to distract enemy Barbs. NATO this in as soon as possible. Evo Archers deal double damage, so even after NATOing it in, he still got my entire E-Giant off the map there. Wow, interesting. I don't know what that was. Maybe he intended to play Big Empress there? If he did play Big Empress, it would have been a good play, but he played Small Empress, so I can kind of just ignore that. I'm actually going to March with the River here. It's toxic, but it gets me damage, and clearly he isn't really giving me any good opportunities to go for my E-Giant. I'll probably Mother Witch low, and then Barb Barrel or Cage, or maybe both. Because I don't want anything to be stopping my Cage from grabbing his Battle Ram. Then I guess I'll NATO this high. Dang. The recruit, since it's walking so fast, it actually manages to get straight to my tower there, even with the NATO. You remember I said in the last episode, move speed counts as weight in this game, which is certainly interesting physics, but since move speed counts as weight, it technically moves with an absurdly fast, it's absurdly difficult to pull because it moves so fast. I guess I have to Cage this, and then Barb Barrel the Barbs after it comes out. Okay. Well, I am up a bit of damage, but not by very much. This is going to be very nice NATO value here. That's not very nice NATO value. I'm going to Recruits the River. Okay, I guess I'll Recruits low, actually, because he doesn't have really all that good stuff to defend this with. He isn't playing Evo Ram, and then my Evo Cage will just go like that. Or it'll miss. Okay, well, the Evo Archers are good for him, but not as good as I think he would like, because he kind of has to ignore that left side if he wants to be able to survive this. Okay, well, I'm going to go for a March or NATO lineup here because he's giving me lots of stuff, and I believe that's game over now. Yeah, he overcommitted with those Recruits the River, and I went off that. If he stopped making mistakes there, he actually probably would have won the game because he could have chipped me down with Arrow Cycle, and I don't have enough spells to keep up. But I guess I do have March or NATO, so I could have actually kept up with that game, even if he was playing well, which is pretty nice to see. I still don't see anything that I really need to change with this deck, so after that first change there, I think that I might have finally made the good version of this deck. Firecracker is actually getting a nerf, like outright nerf, no compensation, and I'm actually really happy to see it because they nerfed her in exactly the way that I wanted her to get nerfed. I mean, they actually nerfed her 2 ways. They nerfed her, one, they made it so that, oh boy, Xe Gob Giant, great, okay. Well, they nerfed it so that her sight range is lower, so now, instead of controlling the entire map, she only controls, like, 1 lane. Though it was technically only a half tile nerf, so it's not like she's really going to be all that much worse. It's a half of a tile. But it is definitely a nerf, which is nice to see. She's also going to get a 33% reduced pushback, which is crazy, because 33% is a big nerf. Okay, well, I guess I'll NATO this. I can't NATO that off. I need Elixir for defense here. I'll Recruits for his P.E.K.K.A. afterwards, because Recruits are a pretty solid P.E.K.K.A. counter. I guess I'll Marcher this, because odds are high he's going to try and protect this or support this with something, and I'd like my Marcher to be piercing whatever he tries to support with. I decided to Marcher there and not let it even get targeted by the E-Wiz, because I want my Marcher at high health, and also probably to tank a P.E.K.K.A shot here, because I'm going to have to recruits this. I can recruits outside of Curse range, actually, because he played that really bad. Very interesting, so he's probably going to have to Xe this, but the Xe isn't Evo'd, which means that it's going to take quite a bit of damage here, which is very nice to see. I'm pretty sure I can just full counter that with a Barb Barrel. Yeah, I can. Okay, so he's down by about 200 damage, which is nice. I'll probably Mother Witch like this. That might counter the Xe. No, it doesn't. Okay, I'm going to have to eat one Xe shot there, which is unfortunate. But he does have to take quite a bit of damage on this left lane here if he doesn't want to be down. He either has to take a negative trade or be down damage. Okay. Oh, I thought that the Mother Witch was actually going to survive one extra shot there, but I guess I have to wait on that. He's got Xe Mega Minion, double tank. Is that all I've seen? Xe Mega Minion, double tank? Alright, well, I'll Barb Barrel this to try and keep the, Xe Mega Minion, double tank, E-Wiz. I'm going to Barb Barrel so that the Gob Giant doesn't actually target the Gob Cage with its Spear Gobs. Because I need the Gob Cage to do most of the killing for me here. Alright, the Evo P.E.K.K.A does stay alive quite a long time, but not really long enough to get him anywhere, and he had to eat 400 damage in order to get that off. I thought that was recruits in my hand, actually. That's a bit of an oops. I guess I'll Firecracker for the Mega Minion and actually NATO it off, too. Alright, unfortunate NATO timing there, but the Mega Minion is dead, and Mega Minion is his best counter to my stuff here. I have to get the Firecracker to finish that off, which is nice for me. I'll Marcher high. The Xe is on the inner tile this time, so it will get pulled by the Marcher. This guy certainly is quite a bit less talkative now that he's losing. I don't understand why he even thought he was winning in the first place. I've got a crazy good matchup into this guy because I've got Evo Cage for his Mega Tanks. I might just Cage, nothing else. I'm gonna get my damage. I don't really have to spend any extra elixir here. Probably Mother Witch like this, Firecracker like this. I want to keep the Spear Gobs off my tower there, and the Spear Gobs would actually have enough time to lock on for a moment there. Since he played a whole P.E.K.K.A in that lane, I can just straight up E-Giant this. Looks like we might actually be in a tower trade situation, so this is going to be very interesting. I gotta save Elixir for a NATO here. Ah, he gives up. Hit him with the thanks since he was so toxic with the BMing. But, yeah. Pretty nice stuff there. The Firecracker nerf I'm happy with, but I'm not entirely certain why they're nerfing her just outright with no compensation. I feel like she should get, like, maybe a projectile speed buff or a damage buff so she's a little bit more consistent. Because, like, after they make it so that she doesn't control the entire map at once, I think that she might actually be a little bit bad. I'm sure everyone watching this video just cheered when I said that, but, yeah. This might actually be a good matchup again, because I've got Evo Cage once again. I've got Evo Cage and recruits for his triple tank, so this is going to be just another free matchup, which is pretty nice to see. I'm going to start really speeding through these balances right now because we're running out of time in the video. Evo Snowball will travel slower, which means that it will keep things, like, unable to move for a longer period of time. I will recruits this because I want to get around to my Evo recruits sometime soon. He entirely missed his arrows, but the Gob Machine does bail him out there. Alright, it's looking pretty nice for me. I don't know how actually he took no recruit damage there. I don't know what magic caused that. I know, of course I saw the E-Wiz, but I kind of thought that one of the recruits was going to get through there. He's got P.E.K.K.A, Gob Giant, E-Wiz, Gob Machine, arrows. Probably playing triple small spell if I had to guess. Oh wow, he almost got his... Oh, he did get a King Tower off there, so he's definitely not a bad player. That's not an interaction that very many people know about. Interesting. I guess I will Gob Cage this. I'm not a huge fan of Gob Caging it, but thinking about my cycle, Gob Cage is the card that I want to be playing for that. Because I Gob Cage for the Gob Giant, and I recruits for the P.E.K.K.A. So that is kind of just the regular interaction that I want to be playing. I guess we'll see about this. The Pig actually pushes the Mother Witch forwards there, so he has to play the P.E.K.K.A a bit early. And since he plays the P.E.K.K.A a bit early, I get a couple Pig shots. Now this is going to be the trouble, because he's got Evo P.E.K.K.A for my recruits, and my recruits are not going to do all that well against Evo P.E.K.K.A. So I'm actually going to try playing Marcher to snipe the P.E.K.K.A while it's being kited across the map by an E-Giant here. I'll also Barb Barrel this because I want to get as much damage on the P.E.K.K.A as possible while it's not targeting things. So I think that's going to be my best shot at staying alive this matchup. He perfectly played that Gob Machine so that it gets targeted by my... He played his Gob Machine really bad, so I actually managed to snipe off his E-Wiz there. So he did take one shot from my E-Giant. Very nice. He's got his Evo what? He's got his Evo Gob Giant in the hand, so I'm probably gonna just play nothing and wait for him. He's leaking. Considering he's a good player, I'm assuming he gave up, so I'll probably just recruit the river here. Yeah, he gave up. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next match. Or maybe instead of seeing you guys in the next match, I'll keep on speeding through these balance chains. So, Evo Snowball, basically a buff. It moves slow. It does move slower, but since it keeps things inside of it for longer, it's basically just a small freeze. Which is going to be very interesting to see. Minions' movement speed are getting changed from fast to very fast. I think that's going to be helpful in P.E.K.K.A spam, like the classic version that I play, but it's going to be actually hurting them when they're in bait decks, because bait typically likes to set up big pushes, and spam is more along the lines of get to the tower quickly. Alright, that's the 8th game of the video. We're looking pretty good so far. I think we haven't lost a single time since we've swapped to this Recruits E-Giant variant. Well, that's interesting. I'll play another match. There's a Rage damage buff, which I think is... There's going to be a Rage damage buff, which I think is going to be kind of useless, because it goes from killing Skellies and not killing Stab Gobs to still killing Skellies and still not killing Stab Gobs. So it's kind of like, it didn't really go up a damage threshold there. It's kind of just existent. Are we facing the same tank deck again? That's crazy. I'm going to recruit the river into this, because the tank deck has no good splash, and he just gave me a 1 elixir thing there. I'm also going to Firecracker this because he wasted his arrows, so he's got no good counters to that, so I can get just free chip and kill his P.E.K.K.A there. Very nice. I mean, it's toxic, but that's kind of how Recruits goes. You just play toxic. His P.E.K.K.A is practically entirely dead before he even gets to offense here. Actually, I'm going to try and Barbaro the river here to make him play more elixir on defense, and then NATO his Ewiz to my Princess Tower. Like on this tile, I think that works. Very nice. So I got my King Tower off there. Since I have a lack of tanks, so I have to just eat a Marcher on this. It's very unfortunate. That's kind of just that's definitely a drawback of playing triple Ranger with Recruits E-Giant. But yeah, it's looking very nice for me. I took quite a bit of tower health off of both of his towers. I've got hard counter to his deck, and I've got King Tower up, which means that he's practically just dead already. He's got double small spell. He was actually up by 4 elixir, but he kind of just gave me all of that elixir back by playing spells on my tower there. I can E-Giant. He hasn't seen my E-Giant yet. I can just E-Giant this. But, so, the thing there, I'm probably going to give him King Tower here, but I want to make sure that Ewiz gets off the map as soon as possible. I can't afford the NATO here, because I really want to, cage his P.E.K.K.A here. But, of course, since he has no big spells, the P.E.K.K.A is just dead right now. So, yeah, this guy is absolutely monstrously hard countered, which is just hilarious to see. Probably Barb Barrel this. Yeah, I would be surprised if he didn't give up at this point, because he's just so monstrously hard countered. I've got Evo Cage for his Mega Tanks, I've got Evo Recruits. I'm going to Recruits the river here because he doesn't have his P.E.K.K.A in hand, doesn't have his Bomber in hand, doesn't have his Ewiz in hand. What's he got for this? Machine? Machine ain't going to help him all that much. Defensive Gob Giant, certainly something that you like to see if you're me. Alright, that Machine actually died entirely on defense here. He's taking a bunch of damage from that. The reason why I don't mind playing my Marcher here is because I know that he's going P.E.K.K.A, and if he P.E.K.K.As, then I get a bunch of Pierce damage. He's probably going to Arrow's Rage that. Arrow's Rage? No Arrow's Rage. Marcher. I mean Ewiz. The Ewiz does kill pretty much no matter what I do, so I'm not even going to bother trying to protect that. I've got my Recruits back, and since this isn't an Evo P.E.K.K.A, I actually can reasonably kill these with my Recruits. If it's not an Evo P.E.K.K.A, I should probably cage it, but, well, I mean, when it is an Evo P.E.K.K.A, I should probably cage it, but right now I can just go with regular stuff here. Since the Gob Machine got stunned by the E-Giant, it didn't actually manage to get to the rocket off on my Mother Witch there, and because of the Mother Witch, I actually get quite a bit of damage off on his stuff, which means that this is practically... Wait, actually, I can Marcher NATO this. Let me NATO high and then Marcher after. Oh, okay, that really sucks for me, actually. I guess I'm going to Firecracker low and then E-Giant kite this opposite lane. I can't quite finish off the game with my stuff here. I'm going to have to take quite a bit of damage there. That's unfortunate. The P.E.K.K.A, the E-Giant won't kite very well because the E-Wiz is tanking. I took a lot of damage there because I NATO'd for no reason, which is very bad for me. I should have Marchered first and then NATO'd after that, but it was just that if he predicted my Marcher, then I was just dead outright. I'm going to Marcher on this tile, get the lineup there, and then that should be game. Very nice. Right, so the Rage buff. Why are they buffing Rage? They're buffing Rage because Rage is actually getting a nerf along with it. They're nerfing the duration from 5.5 seconds to 4.5 seconds. So they're basically saying you get less damage on the actual Rage effect now, but you get more value out of the Rage damage. But the Rage damage is kind of not getting you any extra value, and the Rage decreased duration is definitely going to be a huge value decrease. So I'm guessing that this is like just an outright nerf to Rage, which is very nice to see because Rage is kind of just spammy. Is he playing Arrow Zap? He is not playing Arrow Zap. Okay, well, I'll just Bar Barrel this, get my King Tower up, very nice. I'm hoping the Firecracker doesn't get another shot off, very nice. Probably just Cage here, cycle to my Evos because Evos are overpowered. Firecracker the River because he's got his gang there. You should have played Split Gang the River or or just Gang the Bridge. You gotta play Toxic when you're playing bait. Toxic is legitimately the right play. He's got Gang, Firecracker, Barbs. Gang, Firecracker, Barbs? And that. Okay, well... Oh, and... Wait, what? Barbs, Firecracker, Gang, Gob Barrel, Rascals. What? Okay, I guess I'll march for this because you played that on the perfect tile for me to get a lineup here, which is certainly helpful. I'll Bar Barrel this. I don't really care about taking Gob Barrel damage because my offense matters more than my defense right now. He's got Log too, which is pretty unfortunate, so that entire side of recruits is dead, but he does have to do something about this other side. Okay, I guess I would like to E-Giant Kite this. Okay, I guess I'll Mother Witch this and then Firecracker high. Okay, that's about as good of a defense as I can muster. I don't have my Evos in hand right now, and he got to his Evos first, which means that he kind of just gets the better end of the interaction. That's what happens when they have Evos and you don't have Evos. That's why Cycle Evos is just so overpowered, because you play your Cycle, you play your Evo, you win the game. He hasn't shown me any tanks that I would want to save my Cage for, so I'll just Cage this right now. Odds are he doesn't really pull anything in before going down, but the Brawler will finish everything off, so it's kind of a wasted Evo there. And he got a bit of... Whoa, he got a bit of damage off of his Evo, so I'm kind of down a little bit because... He got his Evo before I got my Evo, and my Evo got wasted on Rascals there. Alright, so I think now is a good time to set up a kill push, because I've got my Evo Recruits in hand, I've got my E-Giants in hand, and I'm pretty sure... Okay, he's not down Elixir. That's not a hugely fun thing to see. I'm probably going to NATO Bar Barrel his Firecracker, like, now. Oh, perfect value right there. That's not actually intentional there, but I love to see it. I'm going to E-Giant the River here because he's not expecting it. I'm pretty sure he hasn't seen the E-Giant so far, so he's going to have a hard time with this one. There's the Barbs, so Barbs should probably full counter my E-Giant, but I got quite a bit of value off of it. Our Firecrackers cancel out, so I already got my Firecracker value, and he spent 3 Elixir on it, so I'm up a bit of Elixir right now, so it's time to go for another Recruits the River. Probably March or Snipe, whatever he plays in the middle here, probably set up a NATO. One Rascal Girl dies, the other Rascal Girl should die too, very nice. The Horde goes down. I'm going to Mother Witch this side because the Mother Witch actually 2-taps minions. So I can get myself some nice value there. He should be playing his barrels more often. There is the barrel, but it's not going to get him the greatest value in the world considering he had to take so much damage for that. I'm going to Recruits the back here, let our Firecrackers cancel out. He decides to not let our Firecrackers cancel out, which is smart by him. But I've got E-Giant the River, so it's not going to work out all that well for him. The Firecracker will survive for a moment here, but that's what the Marcher is for. I can snipe this off very quick. I have to Bar Barrel this, make sure that I can get some extra value out of my stuff. The NATO this in immediately, get off my screen. I also get some nice... I just barely don't get the Marcher lineup there, actually, which is pretty unfortunate. I kind of need some damage now. I don't get the Marcher lineup, but he keeps overcommitting on offense, but I keep overcommitting on defense. That's my problem. I have to Marcher this. I'm taking a lot of damage here. I'm not... I need to win this game somehow. I need some more offense. Clearly, I'm not breaking through the Firecrackers, so I think that I need to get around his Firecracker somehow. But he's got a fast enough cycle that I can't really break through his Firecracker. Or even if I do build up a big enough push to break through his Firecracker, then he just plays a Evo Barbs on it all and it's dead. I'm gonna Firecracker this. That should practically full counter. Okay, very nice. So how do I break through his Firecracker without giving him Evo Barbs value is the question of the day. I can NATO this in right now. That dies to my Mother Witch, so I finally managed to get his Firecracker off the board for just a NATO, which is good to see. I can have my Barbs and my Recruits tanking for the E-Giant, so I finally get an E-Giant on tower here, so this might actually be the exact thing that I was looking for. So, yeah, that's actually just straight up it. I'm pretty sure he's down damage here, and he can't get it back in time, so that's just game. I'll NATO this off my tower, and then Marcher to tank for the Gobs, and here we go. Just barely managed to pull it out there, but, yeah. Oh, what he did was he played a Firecracker just a couple tiles too high, and because I could NATO it in, he didn't have the Firecracker to make me overcommit anymore. So I got a neutral trade out of the Firecracker and a setup push for anti-barbs, then it worked out very nicely for me. It was the wrong thing twice in a row. Well, I had set up for one thing, and I got the one thing that I set up for. I think that makes sense, right? So he had to set up into the thing I wasn't setting up for, right? Alright, I'll play one more match and then finish off talking about these balance changes. So, they actually made it so that Lumberjack doesn't get the Rage nerf, so Lumberjack's Rage is actually getting flatly buffed, where it gets the extra damage and keeps the extra duration, which is going to be interesting to see. I kind of like Lumberjack as a card, so I don't really mind that. Even though it is good in Lumberloon, it's not all that toxic. Evo Witch. They're finally changing Evo Witch the way they need to, so Evo Witch is going to be, Evo Witch only heals from her own skellies instead of from all skellies, which is, I mean, something that they should have done a couple months ago, but at least they're doing it now. They're also buffing the amount that she heals per skeleton to compensate, but she's still going to be trash. What I think that they should do, oh wow, okay, Valk Sparky is crazy to see. I'm going to E-Giant the river here, probably Firecracker too, because he's probably got Mini P.E.K.K.A with Sparky. Okay, mid-ladder it is, okay. I don't know why I'm facing worse players later in the challenge. I'll probably just cage alone to full counter the Sparky. Since he's played 5 Elixir, he doesn't have enough Elixir left over to play a tank in front of his Sparky. So I can just cage this and get away scot-free. Very nice. I took about half of his tower there. I'm going to bar barrel this because I want to make sure that the Sparky doesn't get another shot and also have something to tank for my Gob Brawler. So that's going to be pretty nice. He spends something on that lane because it's going to be quite a bit of damage if he ignores it. Very good. And, okay. Looking very nice start to the game. I think that what they should do for Evo Witch is they should make it so that she has an infinite heal cap. So if you play her in the back and they kill her skeletons early, then by the time she reaches the river, she'll be monstrously tanky. I'm going to nail this in because I want to get that off the map as soon as possible. I don't even really need the... I don't care about getting a lineup there. I just need to make sure the Princess is off the map because my only good counters to Princess are Bar Barrel and NATO. So not very good counters. He's got Sparky, Valk, Rascal's Princess. Valk. Wait, I already said Valk. He's got... And minions, what? Rascal's minions, Princess, Valk, Sparky. I have no idea. I'm gonna save my, I guess I'm saving my cage for his Gob Giant. Okay. I probably recruits his next Sparky, because recruits are a pretty good Sparky counter, since they've all got their shields and all that stuff. Probably gonna March of the River in a second here. Maybe even just straight up Bar Barrel nothing. Maybe recruits the back. This is a dangerous play, recruits the back, because he can Sparky into it, and it'll be up Elixir. I'm going to Marcher this lane, line up through his Rascal Boy on the Rascal Girl there, and also hopefully get me some damage on his Sparky. He's ignoring the other lane, so I'm probably going to E-Giant the river here. NATO in his Mother Witch. He's playing as much mid-ladder as I am, which is insane. Okay, he's got an Evo Valk, but I don't really care about that because my E-Giant still kills 8 Elixir of his stuff, which is really all the value I needed. This is going to be tough now because I don't really have the greatest counters to this push. I'm going to, Bar Barrel this. Oh, I was really hoping that that was going to tank the Sparky shot. Actually, this worked out much better for me. The Bar Barrel full killed the Sparky. Dang. Bar Barrel goes crazy, I guess. Bar Barrel is actually a great Sparky counter because the Bar Barrel actually lands soon enough that it can kill a Sparky. Like, it gets one shot on the Sparky before the Sparky shoots it. So it's guaranteed to get at least 2 shots on a... It's always guaranteed to get between 1 and 2 shots on a Sparky when you play it. And it always gets that extra shot off, so it's just pretty cool. Evo Dark Gob. Evo Dark Gob is going to have a less lasting poison. So you know how when the Dark Gob poisons something, there's like a cloud of poison that follows behind it? The Dark Gob actually, that poison duration is going to be cut by 4 times. So right now it's 4-second duration, it's going to be 1-second duration after this. So the Dark Gob, instead of being an entire push killer or an entire lane killer, is going to be more like a single unit killer, which is still going to be extremely good. Dark Gob's also getting a tiny rework. It's more of a nerf than anything. It's getting its DPS cut by 2%, which is nothing really, but it's also getting hit speed decreased, damage increased, which is how the 2% damage is changing. So what's going to happen is like when you play your Dark Gob, it's going to be slightly worse against stuff like... What's going to be slightly worse against? It's going to be slightly worse against stuff like swarms. But otherwise it's going to be practically the same thing, because 2% hardly... What? That didn't work? 2% doesn't really make a difference into tanks. P.E.K.K.A Lumberjack, Battle Ram. I guess I'll just Firecracker here, force him to play something. I don't even really care about the damage, I just want to get the Elixir out of hand. I don't want to leak. He didn't play that on time. Okay, nice. I guess I'll Recruits this and then Cage the river to get his P.E.K.K.A out, because I don't want his P.E.K.K.A killing my recruits, actually. Very unfortunate that he decides to Mother Witch that, so my Cage is not going to full counter the P.E.K.K.A there, so I'm going to have to Bar Barrel this. But he is down quite a bit of Elixir, considering he just Mother Witched directly into all of my stuff, so he has to eat the entire other lane and still lose most of a Golden Knight on this side as well. Okay, and there's just a couple more balances. Okay, Evo Archers are getting a nerf. People are complaining, oh, this is going to kill them, this is a huge nerf. I don't think this is a huge nerf at all, this is not really going to matter all that much. Oh boy, Tower Trade it is. Okay, yeah. Nothing I can really say about that, I just Tower Trade him. He's actually back to his P.E.K.K.A right now, so I might not Tower Trade, which could be very bad for me. We'll have to see about that. I'll NATO this in, try and get it killed. The thing with E-Wiz is that it's very good against our E-Giant, because E-Giant doesn't actually reflect while it's stunned. So yeah, I don't quite get the Tower Trade there. I get only most of a Tower Trade. So I am down 600 damage right now, but it's not the end of the world. Well, I'm only down 300 because I'm up 300 on the other lane. Though I am going to lose all of that damage right now because I have to defend this Ghost without a tank. I'm going to Recruits sideways like this because he doesn't have very good counters to Recruits. He doesn't have any splash in his deck except for Golden Knight, so he has to let one side go here. Or you can P.E.K.K.A like that, but if the P.E.K.K.A is like that, then I can just E-Giant the river here. I'm going to wait for the right side Recruit to go down, and then E-Giant far to the side here. And since he had to, since his P.E.K.K.A is already mostly dead and far to the side, he's not going to be able to get any good value off of that. This is actually a great combo, Marcher NATO E-Giant, because I can kill the, I can kill whatever I NATO in. If it's a Ranger, it dies to the, if it's a Ranger, it dies to the E-Giant, and if it's a tank, it gets pierced by the Marcher. So it's pretty nice synergy there. I'm going to take quite a bit of damage here because I didn't have my Evo Cage in hand for his Evo Ram. That's how Evos work. If you have an Evo, they don't, then you get damage. Evo Archers, the nerf, right. This has been totally incoherent, this video, but, the nerf to Evo Archers has been like this. They nerf the mega hit damage by 22%, which is quite a lot. But what else do? They make it so that the Evo Archers can do the big hit a half tile sooner. So like they only have to be 4 tiles away instead of 4.5 now. But I don't think that's really gonna make all that much of a difference to them because they do double damage right now, which is just monstrous. Double damage is kind of way too much. So I don't think that changing it from double damage to 22% less than double damage is really going to change anything at the end of the day. I guess I'll Giant into this, because that'll tank for everything. He does get 1 pig on my tower, which is pretty annoying. But I think this is going to work out relatively okay. He's probably going to P.E.K.K.A this, and I'm probably going to Recruits all in opposite lane, because he doesn't have his Golden Knight in hand, and that's his best Recruits counter. Plus, he just wasted 7 Elixir on that lane, so he's going to have to take at least a bit of damage here, which is definitely what I was hoping for, because neither of us have big spells in this matchup, and the fact that he doesn't have a big spell, I don't have a big spell, but I am up means that I'm well poised to win this game. I'm probably going to have to cage this, which is pretty unfortunate, because I believe he might actually have his Evo Ram in hand, so I'm going to pre-Recruits right here. I need to get a billion units on the map right now in order to stop him from going for Ram the Pocket. I'll just P.E.K.K.A here, try and distract him. There's only 41 seconds left, and he gave up. Wow. I can't believe that. Well, to compensate for the Evo Archers nerf, they're buffing regular Archers damage by 5%, so on top of nerfing the Evo Archer damage by only 22%, they're still retaining the 5% buff, so it's double 5%, so it's 10%, so really it's only a 12% nerf, so 12% less than double Evo Archers are still going to be monstrously overpowered. And the last balance is Spear Gob Hut. The Gobs will hit 0.5 seconds faster after coming out of the hut, so right now they get full delayed for 1 second, but they spawn 0.1 seconds slower. So instead of 1.8 seconds between spawns, it'll be 1.9 seconds between spawns. So I finally managed to get through all the balances there, and this has actually been a pretty nice deck. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. It might end up being another Recruits episode though, because the next guy said Recruits Flying Machine, I think, so that'll be fun, I guess. See you guys next time.